Welcome to the Power Within podcast with Richale, a master class in mastery of self. Simply put, this is where you get your life. Hey, this is Richale of the Power Within. Good evening. Hope you're doing well. You know, I always say how you choosing. So I am the host of the Power Within podcast, and I'm coming to you tonight to talk to you about the Law of Dharma. We talked about it on last night, and we're going to expound on it just a little bit more over this whole weekend. And I just want to thank you for joining and being here with me. You know, normally we broadcast every single Monday on the Power Within with Richale at 12 o'clock noon. So make sure that you join me for that you follow, that you like, that you share if you love what you hear today. So these episodes, the live episodes, will also air on Mondays as well as a special attraction. But we're just here because of everything that's going on with COVID-19. There's so many negative reactions to what's happening now. And we just want to be a voice of reason, a voice of hope in this time. And so we're here every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for your listening pleasure, but also for you to interact, for you to engage with me. So if you'd like to call in, do so. If you want to give a comment, you can do so by texting that. And we just appreciate you for being here. Again, there's just so much going on. So we want to be that voice that says, you know what, it's going to be okay. Stay calm. God's got you. All right. And so I am a mental health therapist. I am a licensed clinical addiction specialist as well. I have a specialty in Christian counseling, and I am a John Maxwell certified trainer, speaker, and coach. And so my hope is that I use the knowledge that I have to help during this time. We just simply want to add value to you. We simply want to be a blessing to you. That's the whole entire agenda. Nothing more, nothing less. I have nothing to sell. I have no tricks up my sleeve. We just want to be here to be a voice of reason because there's so many different things that you can listen to. And I always ask the question, what are you feeding yourself? So right now, if you're consuming too much television and you have a negative perspective about your future, then you may want to turn the TV off. You may want to tune into something else. You know, this morning, I was blessed to start my day with seeing a friend. Then it went from that to actually, let me back up. I was blessed today to begin my day by looking at a view of Jupiter, Florida, on the beach, where one of my mentor lives, and he shares the screen with us, where we can see and we can hear the waves crashing. And, research shows that even getting a true picture of something or a mental picture of something beautiful and serene will calm you. And this is what we need. And so we have been gazing at this beautiful sunrise for weeks now, just to keep our minds and our spirits calm. What are you doing to keep your mind and your spirit calm? Think about that, because you have to be intentional about that. All right. And so from there, I was able to look at some beautiful pictures of a gentleman who is a wonderful photographer. And we got to listen to his testimony of how he grew up in the Philippines, pretty impoverished. His name is Christian Del Rosario. And he shared his beautiful story of where he really, truly is living the dream now. and he shared beautiful images, digital images of his work. And I tell you, it was such a range of beauty, from animals to people to landscapes. Just beautiful work. And also beautiful pictures of him enjoying those landscapes. So it was really, really good. All right. And then I went on to spend some time with my husband, just sitting at the lake. We got moved from the lake because we didn't fully understand that if you're not fishing, you can't position yourself at the lake. You have to go to the park, and you still are practicing social distancing. That's what they expect. And so we noticed that the police were there, just kind of going around to see if people were abiding by that. And so it was a pleasant experience. Spent several hours out there, and we positioned ourselves where we could still see the lake. So that was beautiful. And then just came on in and said, hey, I got some people to go see about. The people who are here with me at C.E.O. is Conquering Everyday Obstacles. So thank you for being here with me. I truly appreciate you. And you know, who you learn from matters. So I just want you to know that I'm here. And if you need anything, I'll be there to support you. Just let me know what you need. Thank you for being here. All right. So tonight we are talking about the law of Dharma. And that is a Sanskrit word, right? That means purpose in life. It says that we have taken manifestation in physical form to fulfill a purpose. It says that we are here to express our divinity. So I always say this, look, you got to be connected to the vine in order to express divinity. You have to be connected to the vine in order to express divinity. So that's a question of who's your source? Where is your source? Are you tapped into your source, or have you left your source behind? Have you decided that your source is not supreme, that your source has failed you? You're not sure about your source. Where is your source? Who are you tapped into? Then we go a little step further in understanding that divinity must take human form to fulfill a purpose. So that means that the divine needs you, that the divine is within you if you choose for the divine to operate through you. You ever heard the saying that the devil will use anyone who will let him, right? So many times we focus on what people do, so many times, but you have to focus on what you can do. I always tell people, don't tell me what we can't do. Tell me what we can do. How about that? You know, you meet people and it's like, oh, I can't do this and I can't do that and I can't do the other. Tell me what we can do. Hello to everyone who's into the room. Well, then we go to discover who and what we are to improve the lives, right, around us. Because if you're expressing your divinity, if you're expressing your purpose, then it's not just for you. So these are the things that we kind of covered on the last segment that we did last night. According to this law, you have a unique talent and a unique way of expressing it. So that means that just as you have a unique fingerprint, right? Just as you have that, you have a unique DNA. Now, there's some similarities to us because as humans, we have a level of we have divinity. Like there's no other creature on the earth that can embody the divine nature and express it intellectually as we do. So that's what makes us so different. But then when you go to each and every person one by one, God knows the number of hairs on your head. That's how unique you are. You have a special footprint, and you can make a special imprint, not only in your life, but in the lives of those around you. I say this, you never will outlive what you think about yourself. So it's important that you understand that your life has purpose and meaning, that you believe it, that you adopt it against all odds. My life has purpose and meaning. And what that means is that even the ugly stuff, even the jacked up stuff, even the stuff you say, I didn't ask for this, that you find the lesson in all of it. So to express the law of Dharma would mean to express your talents. It would mean to fully express creativity, to fully embrace unlimited wealth and abundance. And a lot of times when we think about wealth, we think about money. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about an abundant life, a life where you go from success to significance. Because as my mentor, Papa John, says, once you experience significance, you won't settle for success. So where are you living at? Are you living on the side of victim mentality or on the side of the victor? What side of cause and effect are you living on? Where you say, well, I can't do this because, right? What I want you to know, and I want you to begin to speak out. What we have to do is begin to speak out, because we are an expression of the divine. So I can, because I'm an expression of the divine. I can because I have divinity. I can because the source lives on the inside of me. Now, we talked also about the fact that in the law of Dharma, it begs one to ask the question, how can I serve humanity by serving God? And what's so interesting about that is many times we won't ask that question. We won't position ourselves there because we're so concerned about what other people think in this politically correct society. But at some point, everything that you have is because of a choice that you made. And I can say today that regardless of what I see, the choice that I made to live my life from the inside out was a good choice, because it brings me peace. And I don't have to worry about being politically correct as much as I need to be sure in my spirit about what it is that I'm saying and I'm doing and how I'm serving. You are a little G. There's a big G and you're the little G, right? And in that, there's a way that you emote. There's a way that you express. There's a way that you intellectualize, and you do it through love. Now, think about being politically correct when we talk about love and we think about life and business and work and working in the marketplace. Love, we don't walk around telling our coworkers, yeah, I love you, right? Because we're politically correct. But what if we took love into the marketplace? What if you treated everyone that you worked with love? What if you honored everyone with love? And see, the thing about that is, you can only do that when you do that for yourself. You have to start with you. You have to start with the understanding that you have a divine nature, a divine purpose. And when you can see that for yourself, then and only then can you see that for others. The law of Dharma really kind of comes from Deepak Chopra's work. And he did the 7 spiritual laws of success, right? And again, I think that we can still live so intentionally that we can go from what man and society calls a success to what success really is in God. And we can't get there until we go within. So when you talk about success, and when Deepak was talking about success, he was really talking about well-being. How well are you? It's the reason why I ask instead of how you doing, how you choosing, because I understand that how well we are is based on the choices that we make. So how does success come? How do we reach well-being? We reach it because emotionally, physically, socially, spiritually, financially, and relationally, we flow. This is one of my favorite words. There's an ebb and a flow that happens between all of these different domains in your life. And what happens a lot of times is when we begin to compartmentalize them, we many times start looking at our lives as if, oh, my life is so jacked up, right? But your life, it flows, it ebbs and it flows. So you're never going to have 100% satisfaction in your emotional state, right? There are some things just out of your control emotionally, but then there's a level of things that are. Physically, you might be going through something right now. You're like, oh, I wish I didn't have this, but it is causing you to tune in physically to what's going on in your body. I've been having high blood pressure for a while, and it's causing me to have to intentionally tune in and be cognizant of what's going on. And the reason that I'm so intentional at this point and I'm motivated by that is because I do know that the law of Dharma is working in my life. I'm here for a reason, and I can't let something as simple as my blood pressure take me out when there are things that I can do to help myself. I even got so frustrated the other day that I said, I'm not taking my blood pressure, right? So we have those moments. It's not the moment that we broadcast. It's not the moment that we want everybody to know about us. It's not that, right? But that's really how you transform. We hide behind so many things that our purpose in life it's hard for it to be revealed because we're living behind a mask. You have to take that mask off. You have to take that mask off if you're going to move from success to significance. So again, we're looking at success in these many ways. And it really can be that because you have a unique DNA, because you have a unique calling on your life, that there are many ways to approach your level of success and significance, right? There's many ways. What I mean by that, let me be clear. What I mean by that is there are many ways to, like, for example, sometimes people think there is the way, but for you, there may be a way. There's a difference. The way and a way. So in your business, in your enterprise, on your job, the way that you get a task done may be different from the way someone else does the exact same task. Thank you for being here. And if you want to call in and ask a question, I would love to hear from you. So there's a difference between a way and the way. So you may have a way of doing it, and the a way gets you to the same destination as your colleague. It doesn't mean that one was right or one was wrong. But I think that because of the educational system that teaches us what to think instead of how to think, we tend to constantly put everything in one box or the other. It's in the right box or it's in the wrong box. Right, wrong, right, wrong. And so that's how we end up talking to our children. You either did that right or you either did that wrong. Black and white, pretty black and white, and leaves no room for creativity. All right, Kay's calling in. Hey, Kay. How are you tonight?
I'm wonderful. This is my first time using this app on being on Podbean, but I clicked on your page and what you're saying is so on point. Um, just saying that there is not the way, but more so like there's several options. And I train and coach teachers, and this is one of the things that I stress to them is that we're there to share information, but children come into the world with a lot already. They come with their gifts, and giving them a chance to sort of like be the ones to also figure things out and show us the different ways in which they need to learn information and share the information that they've learned. So I love what you're sharing.
Oh, good, good. Yes. And you're right. So because the thing about it, as you're working with them, you see how they're so stressed out, right?
Absolutely. Both the
With
children and the
trying to
teachers.
find the way.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. Because what happens there is that energy that the teacher walks into the room with, what a lot of times the children can feel it before you
Yes.
even open
Come
your
on
mouth.
now. Come on.
So if
Yeah.
you can't come in with a calm,
Yes.
then that whatever the chaos is that you have on the inside of you, you kind of give that to the kids. So we have to
Yes.
learn that there is a way
Yes.
and many ways to approach that task. And
Absolutely.
all without wreaking havoc and taking a toll on us. So it doesn't have to be stressful. And I think sometimes we learn that too. We learn, especially if you've grown up somewhat like me, where everything came hard to you, then that becomes what I call a competing commitment. So I want things to go well, but I have this log, this backlog, this catalog that says,
Yes.
everything has always come hard to me. So I guess it's just going to keep coming hard to me. So I got to
Right.
fight for every single thing that
Woo!
I get.
And when things are easy, you end up saying, "Well, this can't be right,"
Get
versus yielding into the ease that God wants you to have and the things that you do.
There
It's
you
just
go.
like creating a new painting or shifting the narrative.
Definitely. Yeah.
Creating an oh my God, this is so awesome.
Yeah. So then the what God really wants us to have is effortless effort.
I love that.
Yeah. He wants
Yeah.
us to have effortless effort, but if you have a competing commitment, and that's why the power within this podcast. That's why I do this podcast, because that's just, listen, you can't give somebody what you don't have. So all I can give y'all is what I have. So for everybody
Come
that's
on.
listening right now, all I'm giving you is what I have. Don't blame me for it, okay? But what I'm saying is I grew up with that same compete and commitment. And so there was a time that I had to really just find out where's the root of that? Where is that coming from? Because what it was doing several things. It was stopping me from understanding that if the law of Dharma is going to take place in my life, it's not going to be hindered by anyone but me. And the way that it gets hindered is when you have a competing commitment like that and you don't reveal it, you don't find the root and dig that root up, then you begin to self-sabotage. And one of the ways that thought will help you to self-sabotage is because you'll be thinking, I can't trust anybody. If it's going to get done, I have to do it myself. So now you can't let help come because you can't trust nobody to help you. And now effortless effort can't happen. You struggling to get everything done when you don't have to. Now, there's a level of struggle that doesn't mean that something is necessarily wrong, right? Because, see, religiousness or religiosity has taught us that too. That if you're struggling or if you're poor, that means you sinned or you did something wrong. It doesn't necessarily mean that. But there is a level of ease, not dis-ease, but ease that God wants you to have in what you're doing. And if you don't understand your purpose in life and you don't tap into the source, now that's where where it kind of gets twisted when we're talking about the way, right? So some people want to say, well, there's just so many ways to get to the source. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm not here to preach. So I won't get into that. But I will say this, that it is proven over time. And a lot of times if you constantly stay in this place where there's confusion, there's strife, there's angst, there's disease, then you must consider a new way. Can you at least give me that? Consider a new way, and consider
Absolutely.
what I'm sharing with you. And that is that God is that way. I'm a therapist. So AA teaches constantly that you call the doorknob. Well, I'm just going to have to say the doorknob's not going to help you. There's a source, and we have to be tapped into the source so that we can understand that divinity created us for a reason, and that nobody can do the job that you were created to do. Do you know that, Kay? Nobody can do the job that you were created to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I appreciate hearing that again. Great
Yeah.
confirmation. Yeah.
Yeah. I just finished looking at a post of a young lady. I'm going to see actually if I can pull it up. A young lady who calls herself the killer pitch master. And she made a post on LinkedIn that talked about all of her skills. And it starts off like this: did you know that I won this award? Did you know? Number two. So it goes 1 through 10. Did you know this about me?
Mm.
And then the name of her book is something like, now of course I wouldn't name my book this, but that's her. This is her unique style and ownership of the space that she was called to. And she's, it's like the BITCH master something, but it speaks to basically that she's really good at what she does. Now, could you have said it another way? Probably so, but it just works. I bet everybody that sees the cover of that book would pick it up.
Yeah.
What is this about?
Right.
But what my point is she stands confidently, because how many African American women do you know that will post a list of all their accomplishments and say, now, here's my book, go get it because I can help you? We need more of that. We have
Absolutely.
to see more of that in this community, in this space, with women CEOs, women coaches, women teachers. Like, we need to see more of this. And that's why the power within exists. Because if we don't begin to tap in, if we don't get to a place where we're connected to each other and sharpened by each other, not intimidated by each other, not intimidated by her post that says, bam, 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 I can help you, then we don't go to the next level. Because I promise you that same woman is able to sit and take young people and instill that same type of confidence in them. You cannot give what you do not have. You cannot give it when you don't understand that you are created special and unique for such a time as this and for such a purpose. So, Kay, you keep coaching those teachers, because when you pour into them, they're pouring into our next generation.
Absolutely. And you know what? You are, you know, without even knowing, guiding me outside of that, because that's the path that I've been on for a long time. And God was also showing me that your industry is education, but it's to teach you how to be an instructor and guide people outside of this educational space. Because wherever I go, God is using me as a vessel. So if I'm in Walmart, if I'm in wherever, God gives me messages, and I'm sharing those with people. And so I found this podcast because God said you need to start a podcast and you need to share your messages. And because I show you things for people, and I let you hear messages and see messages ahead of time, you need to be able to do this and understand this is your gift to the world. And so outside of the education space, this is where I am now. And I literally, like I said, downloaded this app, and God was like, well, go listen to her. So you're the first person I've listened to on this app. And so for what you're saying, it's just it's confirmation. It's beautiful confirmation. And from it, coming from a African American woman to another African American woman, God is like, see, we rise for each other. We support one another. We need multiple lights in this space. So I
There
thank you
you
so
go.
much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Yeah.
And so, what I want you to do is make sure you follow me. And, I did the same thing that you did. I listened to Patrice Washington. She has
Okay.
a podcast on
Patrice Washington.
financial wealth. And it's not just financial, it's about wealth. So she
Got it.
teaches on all the pillars of wealth. So she's a good one to listen to as well. So make sure you check Patrice out. Patrice Washington.
Okay.
And I actually have created also a space for TPW or the Power Within, my CEO women like you in Facebook. And so join me there. It's facebook.com/groups/TPW-LIVE. That's it. So make sure you come there and check me out. But that's just the intimate space that I created for the ladies who allow
I
God
found
to have
you.
me to speak through. Yeah, good, good, good. So go and connect with me there, and I'll share different things with you guys. But I said the other day I might have to create something for the men because as many men follow me on this thing as women do. But I'm just
That's
so
beautiful.
glad. Joy, Kay, that you connected with me. And I'm going to share a little bit more with y'all tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and teach a little bit more and then call me back if you want to talk some
Sounds
more.
good. Sounds good.
Right. Remember, the power within you is undeniable. Blessings from your favorite therapist, coach, and sister friend, Richale. You've been listening to the Power Within podcast with Richale Reed. For more information on all things Richale, go to empoweryou.com. And before you go, don't forget to comment, follow, and share this episode with someone you love.